Greetings, GameCola faithful, and welcome back to more Super Metroid. In the last episode, we went back into Norfair, and after defeating the mini-boss Crocomire, found the grapple beam, and then we unlocked the wave beam. And that was our primary accomplishment there, but it's a very important one because it means that we can now access the next major area of the game, which we will be seeing in just a moment. If you're wondering why things like the water disappears or the sort of lighting tint effects disappear when the item collection pop-up happens, it's because the game uses the same sort of screen layer to draw either of those effects, so it can only do one or the other. Now these grapple blocks here are broken, and after a second or two will actually break away and drop you. So you need to be quick, or sort of quick. And now that we've gotten some of this stuff, when we return to the main area, you may have actually heard this already, because I think we heard it on our previous visit, but now the rain has stopped. It's still overcast, but the rain and thunderstorms have stopped. And now we have the triumphant theme of Samus playing whenever we're in these sort of above ground criteria areas, and I think that's pretty cool. Makes you feel like you've really made progress. You're making a name for yourself. Well, not really making a name for yourself. Most of the things that we've defeated are sort of mindless enemies for the most part, or just native creatures of the planet. But I digress. Welcome to the wrecked ship. This is a really interesting area because, hey, a save room, great. Oh, the power's off. The save machine doesn't work. The doors don't work. Although, there is one thing we can get here, and it's a bit silly because, yeah, the power's off, so, the spikes aren't spiky? Yeah, I don't know what's up with that one. And I think if you jump into these, no, they don't hurt you either. But yeah, there's ghosts and a missile upgrade. Really freaky looking ghosts, I might add. That's terrifying. Big sort of mutant fused skulls. That's wild. Aha. Okay. We can head further down. There's something possibly that way. And something this way. A map room, but once again, the power's off, so no good there. Wow. Wasting super missiles left and right, but that's okay. Because for this boss, we don't really want to use super missiles. Say hello to Phantoon, the ghost of the wrecked ship. I don't know if it's told who this ship belongs to. Is it the space pirates? Like, what is going on here? But this boss, you don't want to shoot him with super missiles. If you do, he enters an enraged state. battle does take a little while. After taking enough damage, he will close his eye and disappear. Really, it's a bit of a battle of attrition. Except it's not so much a battle of attrition because the drops that he drops give you health. So let's just show off what he does if I shoot him with a super missile. Yes, he launches off this attack, which is very difficult to dodge. Yeah, so don't do that. I went from having almost full health to having less than half. There we go, but we've defeated him. And now that we've defeated him, the power comes back. Which means we've got things like sparking wires that will occasionally drop little balls of electricity that can actually hurt you. And actually touching those little sparks on their own will also damage you. So be very careful. The place actually gets significantly more dangerous once you have defeated the boss. But you have to defeat the boss before you can save. Now, fortunately, the save room is relatively close by, so it's not that big of a deal, but important to note. Especially if, like I was, if you're not very good with the grapple beam controls, then it means that since you have to save prior to that big section of grappling across the lake to get to the wrecked ship, you'll have to redo that every time you die to this boss. So that can make it a little bit frustrating. But hey, another super missile upgrade. Very, very nice. Ow. Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening. Do not like touching the electricity. As you can see, things are really starting to deal a fair amount of damage to us. So we can now use the save room. I will not, because it is the middle of an episode and I do not wish to potentially screw myself over in the event that for some reason the recording fails, which I don't have reason to believe that will happen, but it could, you never know. So before we go up there, yes. Now, I believe this is an exit. So we'll come back to this area later, even though we could sequence break and come back here. Up through here. These enemies do a lot of damage. Watch out for the broken glass there. It will deal damage to you. Ow, ow, ow. I'm just face-tanking all kinds of damage. So this room, you have to defeat all of the enemies to unlock the doors. I made a bigger point about it at the beginning of the series than I probably needed to, in hindsight. But in situations like this, where we have two doors on the opposite side of a room and have to kill a whole bunch of rather bulky enemies in order to unlock them, we definitely want to take that few seconds of time to run back and forth and unlock all of the doors. Before going in any of them. Shoot these guys to push them out of the way. Grab a missile. And I forget if there's anything else in this room, so power bombs away. Nope, that's it. Oh, I guess I'm kind of defeating all the enemies in the room anyway. Oh well. So there's a few of these guys here. We can ride them along. Now, you might have heard me hit something when I shot that wall. Oh, you're kidding me. Game, you jerk. I'm very disappointed. Where did the enemy go? Ugh, I'm gonna leave the room and come back, because apparently he is just gone. Oh, here he is. Good grief. Well, that's embarrassing. And unfair, because I definitely should have collected that item. And now we have to wait for this guy to go all the way to the edge of the screen and back. Bear with me for a moment. There we go. Good grief. That was a little ridiculous. Speaking of a little ridiculous, this thing down here. If you move in the wrong way, and you do have to kind of mess up really badly, but you can do this by accident, you can end up falling back down into the entrance of this area with the moat and everything to cross to get back into the wrecked ship. So don't do that. Have some neat enemies here that we haven't seen anywhere before. These little kind of flying mantis pancake things. This enemy here is seen nowhere else in the entire game, and he follows you and will just kind of track your position. Doesn't appear anywhere else in the game. Little strange oddity. But now we get to the really good part. You have to actually be pretty decent at grapple beam swinging here. You can't just use the sort of cheaty technique of just clinging up top and tapping the fire button rapidly. But now we do this. Interesting. There is obviously something through that door. But there is, of course, something over here as well. In fact, there's a couple of things. This and one more item. Again, very well hidden. And let's build up some running speed. Get up here, jump over that pit because it is a pitfall there. And we get another reserve tank. I believe that's 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed. And actually, just to show it off, let's go ahead and use that reserve tank in manual mode. Cool. And now, for the pièce de résistance. Gravity suit. This is the second and final suit upgrade for the game. Ho 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 ho. We've got spikes on our shoulder pads now. We're a glorious shade of purple. And we can now traverse freely through water. Oddly enough, disabling gravity suit here doesn't seem to do anything. If we leave gravity suit on, I think we may need to change, we may need to do a room transition. No, actually, I was mistaken. So yeah, you can actually have gravity suit on without Varia suit, and I believe that does alter the damage protection. So now damage is cut down by 3/4 instead of by half. So we can now run and even speed boost underwater, which is very, very nice. And it will let us grab another hidden missile upgrade down here. And most importantly, it will let us now get to the next major area of the game, immediately beyond the wrecked ship. And let's just go ahead and not bother with the grappling and just climb up. Oh, come on, climb up. Through here, And now we're going to head through that passageway that I said we needed to wait before going through. The one here that was filled with water had the weird little green sponge thingy. Whatever this guy is, whatever you want to call him. So now we can jump out here, because again, we're not expected to be able to wall jump through there. This room requires extreme care, because those things falling and hitting you deal a lot of damage. Of course, if you have gravity suit, that helps, but it's not perfect. There's also another last little hidden upgrade over here. That is actually pretty tricky to do. I'm really glad I got that on my first try. Because I've done that before, and it's taken me like 2 or 3 attempts. So, let's head out the east side of the wrecked ship. To an area known as the Forgotten Highway. That's not the actual name of the major area we're heading to. That's just the name of this sort of series of rooms, basically. It's the Forgotten Highway because speedrunners generally don't go this way at all. However, it is the way that you're expected to reach this area casually. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say that. There are ways to reach this other area besides doing this. Yes, and I need to remember how to get through here, because it's actually a little bit tricky. It's kind of a maze. Actually, it is a maze. Yeah, there it is. And that's how you get through here. We've got an elevator. Let's see what's in store below. Welcome to Maridia, an underwater area. This is quite the interesting place, and we will explore it in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series, and I'll see you in the next one.